Did you know that if you raid the Grove, Astarion will not trust you? Today, we're going to be comparing the Act 1 romance scene of Astarion between whether you save the tieflings and whether you raid the Grove. The first notable change is in the seduction that happens at the beginning of the party. If you choose to save the tieflings, Astarion is more straightforward. He wants to have a good time. He pretty much directly says that he wants to hook up with you.
I'm just looking for a little more excitement, a little more fun. By the hells, sex, my dear. A night of passion.
There isn't a lot of savvy or fakeness in this moment, whereas we know that he's good at that because when you have a chance to hook up with him a second time, he throws all of his best one-liners at you, and you can either indulge in them or have fun and tease him.
Here's my little treat with their cheeks all flushed. You will come to my bed tonight, won't you? Oh, I certainly can. It would be my pleasure. How about this one? All these accolades from the tieflings are nothing compared to the sound of my name cried from your lips. Let me give it another go. Every part of your perfect body whispers temptation. It's as if the gods made you just to ruin me. I can go all night with the flattery. But is that really all you want? How about if I said these little words? Everyone's favorite. I love you. I am. It's hard not to with you. Now, as much as I relish standing around and saying all my favorite lines at you, I'd much rather we got to experience each other's full portfolio of talents once again. I'll be waiting.
However, if you choose to raid the Grove, Astarion will fall back on his I'm seducing someone for the sake of Cazador ways. He actually has a very interesting seduction scene, as you will see in a moment, and it feels more realistic as far as seduction goes. But when you know his story, it also shows that he's looking at you as a target and not as a friend or a confidant or someone who can protect him.
Well, hello. Welcome to my humble party. What's your poison? Red? White? You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here, I hate it. This is awful. I'm afraid it's warm, but needs must. So, what are we drinking to? Other than a pile of corpses. Enjoy myself. There's a worm in my brain. I'm surrounded by idiots, and all I've got to drink is wine that tastes like vinegar. To victory. Delicious. So, what happens next? I'm just looking for a little more excitement, a little more fun. I can replace those brutal fantasies of yours with desires you'll find much harder to push away. Well, I'd hate to get in the way of a well-laid plan, so to speak. Let's wait until things quieten down a bit. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other. Indeed you will, my love. Indeed you will. By the hells, sex, my dear. A night of passion. Let's wait until things quieten down. Once the others are asleep, we'll find each other. Indeed you will, my love. Indeed you will.
The second notable change happens after you hook up with Astarion. If you chose to save the tieflings, Astarion will be sunbathing. He has his back turned to you, which, as you know, is a sign of complete trust because People do not turn their back on those they do not trust. And he stayed with you all night. Whereas on the flip side, if you chose to raid the grove, you'll end your night at night. And although there is a reason for that involves Minthara's storyline, it does also change the way that Astarion interacts with you. Larian took full advantage of this when writing this scene. Not only does Astarion not want to fully turn his back on you, he's aggressive, he wants to leave quickly, he doesn't want to stay and spend time with you or cuddle, because he doesn't trust you.
You sleep light. I thought you'd be exhausted after last night.
You sleep light. I thought you'd be exhausted.
I was holding back a little, it's true. I didn't want to lose control. Delicious as you were, I didn't want to go too far.
I was holding back a little. It's true. I didn't want to lose control. Delicious as you were, I didn't want to go too far.
Now, shall we get on? I want to go before anyone else thanks me for saving their tails.
Shall we head back? We should try to get some rest before the sun comes up.
It's a poem. A gift from my old master, Cazador. He considered himself quite the artist and used his slaves as a canvas. He composed and carved that one over the course of a night. He made a lot of revisions as he went.
You recall the sharp, complex lines of the script. It was written in the language of the Hells.
Infernal? Who knows? The bastard was insane.
It's a poem. A gift from my old master, Cazador. He considered himself quite the artist and used his slaves as a canvas. He composed and carved that one over the course of a night. He made a lot of revisions as he went.
You recall the sharp, complex lines of the script. It was written in the language of the Hells.
Infernal? Who knows? The bastard was insane. Anyway, enough pillow talk. Let's go before the tieflings drag us into another mess.
Anyway, let's get back to camp and our bedrolls. We should try to get some rest tonight.
Now, outside of these comparisons, if you have done both Astarion's evil romance run and Astarion's good romance run, as either Tav or Dirge, you'll very quickly realize it takes a little bit more time to get all of the points that you need to be able to achieve the I had a nice, simple plan.
Look, I had a plan. A nice, simple plan. Seduce you, sleep with you, manipulate your feelings so you'd never turn on me.
Version of his love confession. Whereas with the bite love confession, it's almost always instantaneous. What this tells me is that even if you slay the Orthon for him, it does take a little bit more time to activate that unprompted love confession scene that you get when you hit the extremely high status. This is because some of your opportunities to earn approval with Astarion have actually changed. Additionally, how you choose to play this game is going to have an impact in the final scene. I will try and pull up a clip from my Astarion approvals only run here to show you what I mean. At the time, I've been using a mod, but this mod reads the code in the game and it shows the plus and minus values for approvals. As you can see, in some instances, there will be a plus and a minus on the same option. This is because sometimes if they approve or disapprove is going to be dependent on other choices you've made in the past. If you choose to play as a hero, or in this case, choose to do all of Astarion's approvals, which ended up being a mostly heroic run, he will approve of you convincing him not to ascend. Oh my god, the whole purpose of doing this challenge was because I wanted to see what would happen in this moment and what he would approve of. And he actually approves the most. He has a -1, but then a +3. So he approves the most of me not wanting him to ascend. However, If you didn't romance Astarion, or you chose to do an evil run, he will disapprove of you trying to convince him not to ascend. And again, that comes down to trust. Because when you play as an evil character, Astarion doesn't trust that he will be safe with you as the spawn version of himself, even when he's in love with you.
And now you're all mine. And I'm all yours. Until morning, at least.